you have to. Crawford has shown abilities that no other fighter has shown in the last 5-6 years, really. Um, the Japanese kid has great ability. He's a great explosive, quick first step puncher that causes people problems. But he hasn't had that really defining fight yet. We don't know who's out there for him. Maybe it's going to be a while before somebody can actually challenge him. But Crawford has the ability to beat anybody. But Jermell is a very dangerous fighter, and he's not going to lay down. I think with Crawford leaning over the ropes and everything, he stoked the fire in Jermell, but Jermell has got a bigger situation to deal with. And once he finishes that situation, he's got to reassess his body to see if he can safely come back down to 154 pounds. Take a lesson from Roy fighting Tarver. You're going up 2 weight classes. Roy went up 2 weight classes to fight a heavyweight, then to come back down. So, and I think what in your early 30s, what is Jermell, 31, 32? So you have,
yeah, I'm not too sure, but you're probably right.
You have to consider this. In this sport, you always have to consider your body. You always have to consult people, get your body fat measured. And then you have to take your time doing it. You can't be rushed. You can't give yourself a time period where you're going to be rushed. Before you even consent to a date with Crawford at 154, make sure that you're comfortably back in your target weight, comfortably back in your target weight of your walking around weight when you fight at 154. And then I would suggest to work out down to 160 before I even sign on the dotted line. And then I can go back up to whatever my training weight is, 170 or whatever it is that I train at. But just to see how I feel. Because again, it's you building up and then you tearing down, and the muscles that you build up are not going to easily want to go back down, especially if you're doing strength and conditioning. If you're doing strength and conditioning work. If you look at Michael Spinks, when he moved up to heavyweight, he didn't do strength and conditioning work. He ran a lot of sprints, did a lot of calisthenics. So, and other than fighting Mike Tyson, he was pretty successful. He beat Jerry Cooney spotting 35, 40 pounds. He gave Larry trouble, although I feel those are questionable decisions. Not taken away from Michael at all. But I think that Jermell should really consider how he's going to go back down and just not make a rush decision.
Yeah, people are forgetting that. Yeah, he has this fight with Canelo. It slipped my mind because that video that came out with Terrence taunting Jermell in the front row. But yeah, that's a big risk moving up 2 weight classes to fight a bigger Canelo who's used to fighting bigger guys than him and taking shots from bigger guys.
Yeah, it is. But I mean, you can't turn it down. You have to take that opportunity. And Jermell is a tall kid. He's got a frame that he could carry an extra 10 pounds. I wouldn't suggest that he go in at 168 because even if you weigh the same, you're not going to be stronger than he is. So you have to take advantage of what you have, your hand speed. You punch hard enough to get respect, and you box well enough to get respect. I actually give him a great chance in that fight.
Do you think it's a fight where it's split decision, close down the middle? Does he separate himself at some point? What are the big takeaways from Jermell that could put him ahead of Canelo in that fight?
I think Canelo is slipping. I think he's very hittable. I think he only throws 1 or 2 punches. I think the stamina problem is right there. Jermell is much more durable than Amir. He has much more punching power. And I think Canelo is showing some slippage. He seems to only be able to throw 1 or 2 punches at one time. And from what I understand, he lives a pretty party lifestyle also. So money can do some strange things to you, man. And before you know it, when you've been fighting as long as he has from a kid and things like that, and the ego is there, you can start bypassing things. You can lose the hunger. And when the hunger is gone, the skill starts going. So I think that if he gets tired against Jermell, well, Jermell shows great ability late rounds. It could be a problem if he lets him get on the other side of 7 or 8. It could be a problem. I don't see Jermell standing there and letting him get bombs off on him. I think it's going to be a very interesting fight. And I don't think weight has much to do with this. I think it's going to be skill. And I think if Jermell can hit with authority enough to get his respect, that it'll be an interesting fight. That's the whole key.
Wow. It's a good fight. I'm excited for. You know, a lot of people did, make issue to the weight. Like, hey, why are you picking a guy so small when there's David there at 168, a guy your own weight? But Jermell ain't no joke, man. He's the undisputed champion. Like you mentioned, big frame. He probably walks around maybe 168 naturally, or around there, 164, 165 naturally.
180 maybe.
Yeah, you think so? That big?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
That's just 26 pounds off, just walking around if you're not doing nothing. If he's staying active in the gym, maybe 175, 174, 170.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like he's more of a natural super middleweight than he is 150. I don't know how he makes 154. These weight cuts are crazy now for a lot of athletes in general in combat sports. How much weight they're able to take off in the course of like 8 weeks. It boggles me sometimes because like I used to wrestle, and that's more normal in wrestling, though 15 years ago it was done with no science whatsoever. It's just like very dangerous cutting methods, and they have improved, but still, man, like I don't know how you could cut that much and then go into a 12-round championship fight and not feel any effects, to be honest.
Right. Well, you have to stay disciplined. Like Bernard used to, like I used to have Andre to always stay within 15 pounds of your fighting weight. You got to be disciplined. It's a lifestyle. You have a whole life ahead of you after you retire to get fat and eat what you want.
Yeah, that's me right now, Virgil.
So it's a 24/7 job, even when you're not fighting, especially if you're in contention for big fights, and then you have the ability to get there. You have to stay in the gym, and you have to be disciplined what you eat. Give yourself one cheat day a week, and you don't work out crazy, but you work out consistently, and you have to fall in love with that scale. You have to be disciplined in order to have a long career, and then your body gets used to what you want it to do. If you can stay 15 pounds above that weight and train 15 pounds above that weight, a 2.5 week weight cut is nothing. Your body will start dropping. As soon as you start reducing the calories, it'll start dropping. And then there are things that you could do to get the final 5 pounds off very easy.
It's a weird thing. It's like muscle memory almost when you're cutting weight. Once you start getting into your routine, like you mentioned, it just starts dropping. And yeah, exactly. It's muscle memory.